Hey, what's up, Liron here. Today I'm going to give you the gift of watercolor success. We'll get to it. By the way, I'm sitting here looking all ridiculous. I don't know why I'm freezing my butt off. It's so cold suddenly. Now, if you've been watching the news, you know there's a bit of a mess, as always. So we're actually not here. We're staying with family. I just came here to film some videos, do some work. I decided this time, even though rockets are fired, I'm going to do my work, and I'm going to provide you with content. So I came here for that. In any case, look, watercolor freedom, the ability to create with complete freedom. It's been my constant experience, and I keep getting reminders of it whenever I try to control watercolor too much. It just smacks me in the face. Whenever I try to aim for one specific obsessive result, even if I get that result, it's not a success because it wasn't fun. It looks tight, it looks rigid, and I feel like I haven't really achieved the goal I was after. Now, on the contrary, whenever I paint with freedom, whenever I'm merely trying to express the idea I have in my mind, and that takes precedence even over the reference or accuracy or what I am painting, that always tends to lead to a better result. Always. I find that it's so much more useful to just edit things out. That's why I always say clarity is better than accuracy. It's much better often to just edit things out, keep it simple, but be true to your own artistic impression. So when you look at something and when you want to paint something, ask yourself, why am I painting this? What's interesting about it? By the way, if the answer is I don't know, or like I don't really have anything that's interesting about it, don't paint it. Be ruthless with the decision of what to paint. I have been spending less and less time on painting things that don't interest me to the highest degree. And guess what? I look at my references, the pictures I took over the past couple of years, and I find less things I can paint. I do find less things that resonate with me, and that is fine. I just skip 90% of it, go straight to that 10% that I do resonate with, and the result is much, much better. And you can see it in a couple of my last paintings. It's just better objectively because my focus was on painting something that I enjoy. Now, whenever I go beyond what I'm seeing and look at the simple things about the thing I'm painting, like I like the way the road looks, I like the water in the mountain in the distance, I like the water ripples, whatever it is, whatever it may be. If I have something that captivates me and I just try to express it, not copy it, express it, the result is always better. And I know if you're a beginner, you're like, I can barely get by getting something that looks kind of like the reference photo. That's exactly the point. Forget about accuracy for a moment. Try and express what you see. And the result is going to be crappier sometimes than if you were to try to be accurate. As a beginner, you don't have much tools. You have very limited experience, very limited intuition, very limited just understanding of watercolor and of visual elements, right? And how to make them look good. You have very limited understanding of all of these things. So you work with what you have. And what you do have, perhaps, is that desire to just express yourself. And if you do that, trust me, the result will be inferior from trying to paint accurately, but it will be yours. And with time, those slightly inferior results, you know what's going to happen? I've seen this pattern over and over again with my students. Pretty crazy, actually. The thing that was kind of quirky and weird about your work, suddenly people look at it and are like, this is actually pretty good. Or like, wow, how did they do that? How did they achieve this? I just recently saw a painting of a student of mine that like the edges were mind-blowing and it conveyed such a good feeling of cool weather and this bit of foggy atmosphere. And I'm like, they've never been able to achieve this so far. So it just happens. And with time, it compounds and you see it and you see the growth and it improves. And you know what the craziest thing is, though? Your paintings are still yours. And it feels like you. I can recognize it's you. It doesn't look like a generic good painting or a generic accurate painting. I can tell whose painting I'm looking at. And I think that's what everyone wants at the end of the day. I hope that was useful. By the way, one way of entering that phase of freedom, one way of sparking the catalyst, of initiating that, is figuring out how to achieve freedom with your own paintings, with like the technique you use, the way you paint. So for that, if you're in that vein, I'm going to put a link below to the Frustration-Free Watercolor course, because this is exactly what it teaches. It shows you actual techniques to set yourself free, like painting exercises that almost force you to paint freely. So even if you're like, a real knucklehead and it's hard, and I felt like that very often in the beginning of my watercolor journey. Even if that's you, if you've never really, you feel like you've succeeded in anything watercolor related, if everything feels like a failure, nothing really is up to par on how you visualize things, this is the key. I'm going to show you ways, I'm going to show you techniques, I'm going to show you adjustments to make before you even begin your painting process. You haven't even started painting yet, you're already set for success. If you want that, check it out. First link in the description box below. I hope you'll give it a try. And I just want this to be a reminder for the importance of freedom. Okay? Freedom takes precedence over a lot of other things when it comes to painting a masterpiece. Even artists who are revered for their accuracy, and I can't get John Singer Sargent out of my head. The way he paints things, right? He's often referred to as like a master, especially with watercolor, by the way. I know oils are the more famous thing, but to me, the watercolors are top-notch, something out of this world. But you'll notice, whatever he does, there's an element of not slavish adherence to the details, but rather expressiveness and freedom. And the missing piece for many of you, yes, you're like, okay, even if I have freedom, I don't know how to paint what I'm seeing. I get it. I totally get it. The missing piece there is understanding. And it is something I'll talk about in a different video. I have discussed this before, but understanding what you're looking at is at the core of painting accurately what you're seeing. But if you merge the two, you get crazy alchemy. Freedom and understanding. Boom, you paint masterpieces before you know it. So in any case, I hope that was helpful. A bit of a quick one for you. I'm on a tight schedule here because I came here just to grab some stuff we're missing. We're living out of suitcases basically, and just to film a couple of videos for you. So I hope you enjoyed this one. By the way, I do here we go live. I get the alert that soon there will be an alarm in my area. How fun! But in any case, I wonder if I can. I'll just show it to you. That's what you get here very often. In any case, maybe I'll edit it out. I don't know. I'll see what mood I'm in. In any case, thank you so much. I do want to send out huge thanks to everyone who supports me, by the way, on Patreon. If you want to receive credits at the end of the videos, be sure to check that out. And yeah, we'll talk to you again soon.